It's November 9th right now. When did we start making this reel? Like October 1st. Okay, sweet. So this behind the scenes video is 39 days in the making, which now that I'm remembering is somewhat ironic because the original idea for this YouTube video and that reel was that we were going to set ourselves, was like a 1 hour timer. Is that what it was? And we were going to be like, how fast can we make an Instagram reel?
Okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold. I'm locking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me, and hopefully you understand. G.O.D. maybe this cold, and I'm talking like no.
Most of the idea for this video came from a singular shot idea, which is a shot of the carabiner with the wire kind of flapping behind it like a tail, flying through the air. Kind of like a Ninja Star in a Tarantino movie. And once I had that idea, I was like, that's it, you know, we have to make that happen. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't even really care how good it is. That's what I want, and that's what we're gonna build the video off of. Okay, so in order to do this efficiently, we should get all the gear that we know we need for this video. Like, there's the step stool. My original plan was to have this opening shot be a little more dynamic than a static shot, so I got the slide pod out. We made an entire video about this thing because I love it so much, and it's also just awful. So that's this video in the corner here. And I rigged the camera up so that it was as low to the ground as possible so that it could be slowly just lifting off the ground as those feet walk towards the camera. We can talk about this Falcon cage even, is that it has Arca Swiss things on the side of the cage. So I don't even need to put a plate on it. It'll just hang from the slide pod already. Oh, hello. Welcome to the movie. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out to be all that necessary because I actually planned too far of a walk before I got to my mark in the frame. And now for a lot of videos, this isn't gonna matter, but because for reels or most short form storytelling, you don't really have a lot of time that you can linger on a shot like that. In post, I ended up speed ramping those footsteps to be on beat with the song that I chose, and I did a little bit of just like digital zooming with each footstep kind of moving around, just to give it that dynamic feeling that I had imagined from the beginning. And I was also talking about in that wide shot, I need a foreground element. The foreground element is the step stool, Dave. It's all coming together. I had only imagined those first 3 shots up until this point. So close up of feet, wide of full body swinging, and that third shot, flying Ninja Star carabiner. Thankfully, Dave was like, maybe we should film a couple of like just in case close-ups. That actually is really quite smart. And I'm really glad he did that because it's so small and shiny and thin that in those initial steps, when I drop it, it really isn't that obvious what it is. Sorry, Dave. So that gets us from like close up on feet, wide on a body, and shot number 3 is the shot we were excited about all along. We have no idea quite how we're gonna do that yet. So that's gonna be a real DIY, figure it out as we go thing, but I have a feeling it's gonna involve something like this attached to the camera with like a little piece of string hanging the carabiner from, so that whether maybe we spin in circles and the carabiner is kind of like locked in step with the camera, so that we get that motion blur behind it, or maybe I ride the one wheel to get the motion blur behind it. But then when I realized we were doing this vertically, there was gonna be a ton of headroom and butt room beneath the carabiner, which actually makes rigging in that fishing pole overhead quite a lot more difficult because you'd be able to see it.
And we'll have to hold the edge out of the frame over here as we go fast.
Maybe if I, just a friction arm or something? Sure, why not? What I ended up doing is threading in a little 1/4-20 into the cage on my FX3, and then I attached 2 Insta360 selfie sticks onto that spigot and just like had them go out in this nice Y kind of direction. Wait, is that maybe a better way to do it? to have the string coming from in front. Like, no. It's not gonna wiggle. It's gonna be nice and taut. I think that is the key. In the end, rather than spinning, I opted to actually just hold the rig and ride the one wheel just across the studio and kind of like starting with it down low and then carrying it up high so that hopefully the background is moving in a straight line and is also kind of feeling like the carabiner's flying upwards.
What are you calling this rig? The Antenna Master?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling it the Antenna Master. I came up with that a while ago. Now, the final problem that I knew we would have to solve all along is that fishing wire. It ended up being like really quick and easy to just take that clip, bring it into Photoshop, and I could just select around the wire and use the like content aware fill, just frame by frame. And it's like a 1 or 2 second shot, so there's not that many frames. And it was just like, perfect, magic, really easy. Export it as a video, bring it back into Final Cut. It's a flying carabiner. I knew now, once we had the flying carabiner, we needed some shot to convey really quickly that like, that carabiner hit something and just like tied itself tight. Right? Right? Around on the pole. You're never gonna see that pole again. After that, it's just strung up. So the assumption by the audience is, well, that's what it's tied to. It doesn't really matter. We ended up finding these old pieces of like galvanized threaded steel that were from someone's desk somewhere. And we actually just like jammed it into these vertical pillars, and I think it like really worked pretty good. Oh my gosh. Finally, what we're looking for is to kind of like tie all of these elements together. So I got out the scissor lift and then I moved that piece of galvanized steel way up high so that it looked like that's where it was attached all along. That way, hopefully in one shot, you see like me with the yellow line and that the action of me pulling it is creating like a tight line in the sky. Here, so you catch that, and then I need to just hold it like this, and then you rip it out of my hand, and then we play that in reverse. I feel like a lot of people in the creative industries will relate to this, and certainly filmmakers, but what gets me and a lot of my friends, and probably most of you, excited about this is the creative problem solving that goes into these types of videos. You never really know what you're gonna have to handle on set, and so it just like ignites these parts of your brain, and I don't know, at least personally, it feels really good to be in that place where you're like, I know what I want, and you just have to keep tweaking and fiddling until you get at least close to what you were looking for. I know just how hard it is when you're like, I've got no ideas. I have no clue what my next video is gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna feel like, what it's gonna sound like. I got nothing. I am most inspired by creative problem solving. I like being in the thick of it and then having to climb my way out. I think sometimes the best thing that you can do is to find your carabiner shot. I made this YouTube video recently about the new Aperture 45-45 softbox. The theme of the video is gonna feel like, oh, hi, Michelle. What are you doing? We're making a video about making a video, but we don't know what the video we're gonna make is, so we're just filming everything.